All right, we'll go to Cassie on Zoom. Cassie.
Hey, Coach. Cassie with Women's Basketball 365. Earlier in the season, I believe we saw zone coverage a couple times, though I could be mistaken. How do you feel your team performs in the zone, and what adjustments are you considering to address the defensive lapses that we've been having?
Well, a good zone has good man principles, and our man principles were terrible today. So as much as I'd like to put in some junk, zone, this, that, the other thing is you can't play a zone against that team because they can stretch you out to where there's no chance when you have all 5 players that can shoot threes very efficiently. Not only that, the times that we have run zone, I haven't liked it. And even though I'd like to put some other things in, you can't put things in if you can't get the basics right. And we haven't been able to get the basics right in some of these games. Now we made a little bit of progress, the last, 5 to 7 games that, but it's like asking a baby to walk before they crawl. You have to be good and fundamental and have the basics so nailed down that it comes so natural to you. Your first habit, your first instinct is solid basketball.
The Aces lost by 53 points. And as a fan, it's inconceivable. You got people out here saying, "Oh, y'all got 15 Olympians and y'all can't win a game." What y'all doing with all this? What y'all doing with this money, man? That's how I feel. That's what you hear from fans. It's tough out here being a fan of the Aces because you have one game that we're playing on such a high level. We look so cohesive. And we know the firepower that we have, and we know the arsenal in the coaching staff that we have. So why isn't it clicking? What is happening? In the post-game presser, I asked Coach about how she felt the team looked in a zone earlier in the season. And I asked this question knowing that Minnesota has amazing perimeter threats, right? You can't play with Kayla McBride. You can't play with Nafisa Collier. Courtney Williams will knock him down. She'll knock him. Bridget Carlton, their three-point shooting is amazing, but they didn't have to try for hard buckets. This team, what we're seeing from Minnesota is a team that is well disciplined, and when you're disciplined, they just doing things in the flow of their offense. This is like a strong practice for them because they are fundamental. The crazy thing about it, Minnesota won by 53 points, but I still don't even think they were playing at maximum level. And that's because of the defense. So the only thing on my mind, I want to ask Coach, if it's not clicking in this way that we're trying to run it, and this has been the primary thing that we're trying to run, what else are we doing to alleviate that pain point? How else can we go about it? Because the way that we're going about it is not producing in a way that's coming in consistent wins. And that's what we want. We want consistency moving into the playoffs. This eighth seed race is so close. At any given moment, any team can win. This is a season where even though Minnesota has the record that they have, only 5 losses on the season, 24 games. With a record like that, I still have seen inconsistency. And then obviously, they still only have 5 losses. But some of those wins weren't clean. But in the wash of things, nobody cares about that but me. Maybe a couple of y'all that watch my videos. The win is a win is what I mean. So I just look at it like it's anybody's game, and the Aces is playing it real close to the fence right now. There are strong teams in that bottom quarter. You got the Sparks, they're one of the lower seeds, but they're one of the strongest teams in the league. You really can never count out Kelsey Plum. It was only a matter of time for her to figure it out because any player that's playing at a high level like that, just know that these are basketball geniuses. I'm criticizing as a basketball nerd. I'm criticizing them and judging them harshly as someone who studied the game, but make no mistake, I know the type of people that I'm talking about. I know that they are amazingly talented people. So everything that I'm saying is from a level of love. I just want to see them get even better than that because we're in one of the best eras of basketball, period. So just know I'm saying everything that I say with love. If they're having miscommunications and they're having trouble with help and how to get back into help from individual assignments, then maybe we should lessen the load of the assignment. Every team is different. And what I'm learning more than ever in this era of basketball, that there's more than one way to reach this goal. There's more than one route to this finish line. The Aces got to find their own way, and maybe it's time for things to change. Sometimes zone defenses help man-to-man principles. As teachers of the game, we're like, the first step needs to be man-to-man. You learn the basics of defense in a man-to-man because it's just you out there. But what I've learned is that some zones function very similarly to a man because they're all derivatives of man. If they try something like a 1-2-2 type of zone, which is a matchup type of zone, which is it's a matchup zone, so you're already matching up with an area. So if we do something similar to that, that will bring in at least more help defense, because I know that they're not playing in help mostly. She's saying that they can't run a zone against a team like the Minnesota Lynx, but I'm just challenging us to think right now, like, if they don't have to work hard for their in the paint points, that's level one. Minnesota won the paint battle 44-28. So that's telling me all their points ain't even coming from behind the arc. I don't want Jessica Shepard running it up on me when I have Nalissa Smith and Asia Wilson and Kia Stokes and Meg Gustafson. And Meg Gustafson is a player, bless her heart, because I love to see her sprinting the court. She be booking it. She put her head down. She's sprinting the court. She don't really complain. She's the type of player you want on your team. But how can we help her? Because sometimes she getting cooked. So if Meg is getting cooked, let me get some help for Meg. You know what I'm saying? Let me stick her in the middle and we keep somebody around that short corner block area, stretch it out a little bit. But having her out she is getting cooked out there along the perimeter. She don't have the footwork yet. And it's not even necessarily all about footwork. Sometimes it's about angles, but sometimes the offensive players are just better off the dribble, off the bounce. They got quick first steps and they blowing by her. So get her some help. You know, get Kia Stokes some help, because I feel like she's been off a step this season and is leading to easy buckets. So I just posed the question of zone just to get us to think, what else can we be doing? Because right now I've been seeing us get beat the same way. And I hate to see it happen the same way. Like, okay, if we're losing and it's different things that we gotta tie together, then I understand that. It feels like more of the same. So if it's more of the same, now we know the location. Let's get this out. Let's expel this, whatever this is about my team right now. Let's get over this hump. Child, and I ain't even really broke down the game, and this is just me venting. And Janae, but what are your thoughts, Hoops Tribe? How do you feel about the Aces? How do you feel about maybe your favorite team? Because there's been a lot of up and down moments for a lot of these teams this season, and everything's so up in the air. How are you feeling about your team moving into the playoffs? Because everything now has playoff implications. So you got to tie these loose ends. Right now is the time to do it. Yeah, but what are your thoughts? Let's talk hoops.